Hello, everybody. Welcome back to That's Life Podcast. My name is Abby Murphy.
My name is Ryan Luckett.
And today, you take away the first topic of conversation.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are well out there. We just saw a Cybertruck, and it was so cool.
Okay, I didn't even know what that was. Explain.
So we were leaving the gym, and we are at the stoplight, and we saw a Cybertruck in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it took my breath away. I was so excited.
It looked like a block.
They look so weird,
It
but it was
looked
just
like a
cool.
Lego.
It was just like, I know if anybody in here is listening to like from a major city, you've probably already seen one, but we don't live in a big city, so seeing a Cybertruck was kind of like a, whoa, who is that?
It looked like a futuristic out of
Yeah.
what's that movie called?
Transformers?
Wait. Well, actually, yes, but
It does look like a Transformer.
what was that movie? The Einsteins? No. On Disney Channel with the kid with the blonde hair and the kid with the brown hair.
I don't
And
Back to the Future?
no, the song Into the Year 3000.
Oh, the Jonas Brothers sing that.
Yeah. What's the movie? And the
don't
kid
know.
starts out and he plays baseball and he has the stake on his eye. I say you look like him.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I know what you're talking about,
It's going
though.
to drive me crazy. I have to look it up.
Yeah, look it up. But it was super cool. We had just left the gym and we were going to the grocery store and we were at the stoplight and I was like, what in the world? What's a Cybertruck doing in Bowling Green, Kentucky? But it was super cool. Don't think I'd ever get one, but if I ever had the money to, I would, because those things are dope.
I don't know. It's not on here. Oh, Meet the Robinsons, not the Einsteins. The Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons.
That's what it is. If you can hear my voice, you can hear it pretty bad. I haven't really talked this much today. Maybe it's just the microphone amplifying it in my ear, but I feel like I sound like rah, 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 like a T-Rex. Maybe taking a swig of the new Roar Organic Strawberry Lemonade will help cure me. Let's do a little ASMR segment. Oh, that was a crazy sound. Okay.
Abby does this every episode at some point and we lose every listener.
It's the ASMR segment. You have to whisper it.
No.
You have to whisper it. Here we go. Taking a sip.
Oh, that's such a gross noise.
It's ASMR.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting a little like, grossed out right now.
I love ASMR. It calms me down. Because they just...
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we just got back from the beach.
I also listen to sound machines. We did get back to the beach. Like brown noise. I like brown noise and white noise.
Yeah, I don't ever listen
I don't
to
like
stuff.
pink noise. But we did just get back from the beach. Beach recap, Spark Notes. Take it away, Rhino. Oh. My ear fell out of my ear.
The beach was fun.
That did not... The words that you said, in the tone that you said it, in the way that you said it, your facial expressions did not show that you actually thought it was fun.
So much fun.
Why?
It was just nice. It was nice to be down there for a week and just hang out and...
I think we should go in depth day by day.
No.
Just like a quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, see, this is rule number 1 of Ryan couldn't do improv for all of my actors out there. The first rule of improv, do you know what improv acting is?
Yeah.
The first rule
Make
is
it
saying
up.
yes and. And you just said no. So now the conversation ends. Where am I supposed to go with that? Good thing I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Sunday we left after church and we just drove and we got there. That was fun. And then we just like chilled and watched TV for like an hour. We got there at like 9. So then the first day was Monday. Every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Ryan took an off day Thursday. I took an off day Friday. And then Saturday, we would get up and go to the gym. And I would run before. So then we would go to the gym. And Ryan sometimes would run too when he was feeling it. And then we would come back and make breakfast. So that was like our normal, right? We did that every morning except for Friday morning. Because Friday morning, well, I'll get to that. So then Monday, it was kind of rainy. And we went to an arcade. That was super fun.
That was fun.
Ryan dominated me, and I think you won every game except for the piano game.
As I do.
Ryan won Connect 4 basketball. He won actual basketball. No, I beat you in skee ball, didn't I?
Probably. Oh yeah, I got last in skee
Yeah.
ball.
And then mom is so good at Pac-Man. Mom played Pac-Man.
He's so good at Pac-Man.
Oh, I think I did beat you in Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you
But the
probably-
other ones you did. But it was really fun. The arcade is called Fat Daddy's in Gulf Shores, Alabama. If you need an arcade to go to. I also love Adventure Island in Gulf Shores, Alabama for like a...
I'm glad you mentioned the state again.
Well, I'm just saying. You don't need to be mean. Ryan's been sassy today, I think.
Well, I like Fat Daddy's in Gulf Shores, Alabama, but I also like Adventure Island in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Well, what if someone wanted to make a sound bite of it and they needed to know where, but they didn't put Fat Daddy's, they just put Alvin's Island?
That's a good point.
What if Alvin's Island hears this and doesn't want Fat Daddy's, but they would pay us to promote them? But I wouldn't have said where it was.
The reason why we're talking about the arcades is because they're actually sponsoring this episode.
I wish. That would be so cool. But anyways, Alvin's Island Adventure Island has like putt-putt and stuff too, which is cool. But anyways, so we did that the first day on Monday, and then the second day was we went out to eat that day. Ryan and I went to a coffee shop. We did Bible time. We looked at houses for fun, and then we went out to eat, and that was really fun. I don't know. Anything to add?
No, it was a great day.
And then Wednesday was Ryan's first day of work. So Ryan worked Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How was that?
It was good. No complaints. I mean, I would rather be working at the beach than not being at the beach. So
we set him up his desk looking out on the ocean.
that was nice.
It was a nice little
that made the beach or the work a little bit better.
And then Wednesday, I think we just stayed in Wednesday and just like hung out, and also Thursday we stayed in. And then Thursday we went to the balloon festival and the canine dogs.
That was fun.
You should tell the people about that.
Should I?
Yeah, because this is a podcast, and right now you're just saying things were fun, but I think they would want to know the details. Because also, we need to talk about these things, and right now, I'm kind of trying to pull a lot out of you, and you're not really giving me much to work with here. So, if you could just help me out, co-host.
Yeah, I got you. We went to, what was it? Oa? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, super, super cool place. It's like a little, I don't even know. It's like
old timey.
I can't even compare it to something.
It's not like a square. It's more modern than a square, I feel like.
What do you mean a square?
Like we have our square, like a downtown kind of square, like a downtown area.
Yeah, but like it's almost like a old timey adventure park.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because it's not like, it doesn't feel like it's a part of any town. It's like its own little adventure park away from everything else.
It feels like Disney Springs, if you guys.
Yeah, your mom
have
agreed
been
with
there.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't know what that was.
It feels like Disney Springs, part of like the Disney parks. But if you haven't been to like a Disney Springs, it almost feels like an amusement park. Well, it is an amusement park. Like one part of it is an amusement park, but then there's like this whole shopping area that also fits in like the amusement park theme. So have you been to Universal?
I was super young.
Six Flags.
Yeah.
You know, like in Six Flags when they have like the shops and stuff at Six Flags, like merchandise shops or like the side games that are like basketball, win a toy or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like super bright. It's like kind of the same.
It's like a carnival.
Yeah, if you're feeling
carnival vibes.
Yeah, like the theater was playing like throwback movies like Elvis, Back to the Future. Like it was just very old,
cool.
But like very modern. Anyways,
But the part about it too that's cool is like it's not a street because nobody can drive on it, but it looks like a mini street.
Yeah, it's so.
And there's like restaurants and stores. Mm-hmm. So and it's mainly like I would guess those are like mostly local stores.
It's literally Disney Springs. Yeah, it's all local. There's no like chains or anything.
There was though. There was a Starbucks. There was
I forgot about
the
that.
Auntie Anne's was closed down, but that used to be there.
I forgot about that. They used to have a Paula Deen restaurant there and a Mark Zuckerberg restaurant there. Wahlberg, same thing. Anyways.
That was great. But they had a little dog show. Like they were doing tricks like.
Well, the dog show was
throw.
part of the event. The main event was the balloon festival.
Yeah. We went to the balloon festival, but the dog show was there, and they like throw the frisbees around and the dogs catch them, and it was really, really cool. Like
Okay,
this dog
okay.
did a backflip.
I was gonna say they didn't just throw the frisbees and the dog caught them.
Yeah,
Like
they were doing some really cool tricks.
it
like
was insane.
they were jumping over the person that was throwing it
Through
around.
their legs, doing 360s and catching the frisbee at the same time.
And at the end was really cool because the guy was, giving a little bit of, just testifying to how good God is,
Oh,
which
so
was really cool. You didn't really expect it. And he was just talking about what is dog backwards. And he was like, there's one other thing that's more important to us in our lives, and that's God. And I just thought it was really cool because...
Well, the reason he said like dog backwards is because it was like such a tagline. It was like a money.
Yeah, I didn't say it nearly as good as...
This is what he said at some version of this. It was so funny. He said, I'm not hating on you. I just think it's funny. You were like, he said, what is dog backwards? And he just started talking about God and blah, blah. It sounded silly. But he was saying like, he started talking about the Lord. And he was like, the reason we're out here is because of the grace of God. And, I don't think it's a coincidence that dog spelled backwards is the one most important thing in our life besides these dogs. Like the one thing that's more important to us than these dogs is dog spelled backwards. And he just kind of like it wasn't like, he wasn't like, this is Bible, like God definitely switched the word around because, but it was just like a cool little thing. But we went up to him after and like, is it good?
I've already had that one.
Oh, Ryan just took for all the listeners, not the watchers. Ryan just took a drink of my roar.
Yeah,
but anyways,
I'm drinking cucumber watermelon, and it's a little underwhelming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry for your loss. But I went up to him after Mom and I did, and Mom let me do a little donation, and I got a shirt, and it was cool. But I told him, I was like, thank you so much for spreading the gospel, especially in the entertainment industry, which I know it's a little different. It's in the South, and it's dogs, so like whatever. But it's different than musical theater, but it's still entertainment. And I feel like any personal business where you're trying to seek like personal success, I guess, it's like all on them. It's very easy to just lose sight of that. Even with the podcast. Yeah, even with the podcast, like I'm still just having to remind myself, like, it's not about the numbers. It's exciting, like we get the followers and new subscribers and it's cool and it's awesome. And but the constant, and I think the Lord wants us to delight in that. I mean,
wants us to delight in Him.
Yeah, yes, but like be happy in that. Like I don't think it's a sin to be like, oh my gosh, like we're getting followers. But I think that the moment that takes priority over your faith, or the moment that you let that define you, or the moment that it becomes more than, oh, this is so cool, that's when it gets scary.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like it's not about that, but it is awesome to see growth. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're doing it to, spread the light of the world and spread the name of Jesus while you're doing it, then you should celebrate growing in numbers, because more people are hearing about who Jesus is. This is random, but it was...
Anyways, the beach was fun. We left on Saturday.
This is about the guy.
Oh, what?
What was really cool is all of the dogs that they had were rescue dogs.
Oh yeah, they were either rescues.
The first dog that came out had 3 legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think some of them were like disabled or something.
Well, the first one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And the dog with 3 legs was like a 6-time world champion or something.
Yeah.
It was just insane. The dogs that we saw were Darla, Sushi, and Frisbee Dog.
Sushi. That was such a great name.
Sushi is such a good name. But anyway, so that was the balloon festival, and I don't know, it just made me want to never leave the beach. Like, it was just such a good community feel, and like just older.
What's the... Yeah, no.
Like, it was just older.
That was the most wholesome day.
There were tents set up and like carnival food, and
it was so good.
It was just... No one was on their phone. No one, like,
great.
People were present in the world. I heard in a podcast. Well, okay, first, Friday was fun. Ryan and I went and got coffee. It was a great time. Saturday, we went home. Okay, that was the beach. Boom. Tied a bow on it. Do you want to add anything on the beach before?
Well, we have to get to the trip back, but we can get to that in a little bit.
Okay. I heard on a podcast that this guy, which this is just crazy to me, especially because, like, you have a fully remote job online.
Mm-hmm.
I am lucky enough that I get to work at the church, but I don't have like specific hours. I just kind of specifically have to go there on a Sunday. So there will be some weeks I don't even go there because I do majority of my work online, scheduling things online, which I need to do, by the way. Anyways, but then a lot of it is like editing for the podcast and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I say all that to say I heard on a podcast, this guy was like, the internet has become 2024's, like in today's society, the main world of interaction. And that like shook me. I was like, that's terrifying. Like social media brings so much good, and the internet brings so much good, and like there are so many great things from it.
Yeah.
But I spend more of my time looking at a screen than I do looking at the world around me.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's terrifying to me. And it just makes me want to give up like all of it. Like never look at a screen again. Never look at my phone again. Just go off the grid. Just live for purely survival. And just like forget it all.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. That's a bit of an extreme. But you know, that's kind of jarring. I don't think I actually mean that. But like, in a sense, I kind of am just like, I could literally just drop it all with thinking about that. Like, it reminds me of WALL-E. I feel like we're living in WALL-E.
What's WALL-E?
Where the robots, you know, the robots and the people are just staring at screens.
Oh.
The Disney movie?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I agree to a certain extent, but I feel like you just have to separate work and what you do after work. Because for me, like, I literally couldn't work unless I had my computer and wasn't looking at it and talking to people on there. So, I mean, you just have to be able to disassociate with that and be able to be present with people, or you're just going to get in a cycle of just literally, even when you're not working, just staring at your phone.
Well, that's the hard part I'm finding is like when I just want to chill, I'm like, I'll just scroll on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I just chill.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because I want to delete the apps, but I can't because we've got to post like stuff like this.
Yeah.
And
you
so
know
it's so hard.
And what can happen too is you can just be looking at so many. I feel like my phone now isn't like this, but it can easily become this. People can be looking at just bad news all the time as well, and getting caught up in like what politics are going on, or you know what the unemployment rate is, or how bad inflation is, and they can be staring at that every day after they get off work. And it's just a complete cycle of you're literally just feeding yourself garbage.
It's also crazy how stimulating technology is, because like I was reading my Bible today and I started falling asleep just because it's very, you know, calming and
that's such a good point.
But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay down and like just rest my eyes, and I started praying. And then you sent me the Crumble video, and this isn't your fault, it's not even a bad thing at all, but it was just funny how I was like, oh, I gotta post it now. And literally as soon as I started looking at the phone, I was wide awake. Like I had so much energy, and I was like, what the heck? Like my brain was awake, and I was like, what is this like long term gonna do to us, like our generation? I even think about people with like hearing loss or sight loss, and it's like those are the people that are losing that now. No one has seen truly what like growing up with technology, with the screen, with always wearing headphones. Like we are the first of our generation to like kind of grow up with that from a young age, like not from birth. The iPhone, not everyone was carrying iPhones like when I was born and when you were born, but
you were talking about how you were staring at an iPad at like 7 years old in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I'm saying is like,
I'm thankful that wasn't me.
How is that gonna affect me? Oh yeah, I was an iPad kid. Whatever. How is that gonna affect me
iPad kid.
when I'm like 40, 50, like growing up, you know? Oh, I'm wearing an earphone right now. Like we have no scientific proof to show if it's like ×2 speeding up my hearing loss.
Abby's going full conspiracy mode right now.
I just think a lot and I run a lot, and so I think on the runs, and so then it just bubbles over. Anyways, I don't know. Technology scares me, so it's so hard to be trying to pursue something online.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And I was thinking about, that's why I wrote that thing down on Sunday, because, well,
yeah, talk about that.
Greg had mentioned that we were going to be reading over Greg's our pastor at church, and he was mentioned that they were doing announcements, and they had mentioned that they were going to be teaching over John 16:33 for, I think we're doing it for 4 weeks, just that passage alone. And during the announcements, I just got to thinking about like the truth in that, and how Jesus has overcome the world, and how like he did promise us that we will have trouble, but like we can take heart because he's overcome the world. And so I was just thinking on that, and I wanted to, well, I really just opened up my journal and started writing. I guess I could just read what I said.
Yeah, you should read it because it was really good.
Yeah.
Good. You just clicked on it 3 times and exited it.
Okay. I wrote, look around. I promise you can find something to be thankful for. I know life beats you up. I know school, work, your family, relationships can feel overwhelming, and I hear that. But just take a second and stop. What can you be thankful for that God has given you? What can you stop and thank God for bringing you through something that felt like he couldn't, or that felt like something, I can't even read my own handwriting.
I was gonna
felt
say.
like something that felt like something you couldn't overcome. Think on that, meditate on that. It will change your life. It may not change your circumstance, but it will change your perspective in the midst of your circumstance.
So explain that, because it felt a little blocky.
Yeah, it was blocky. I was literally I was literally trying to read my own handwriting during that, which is bad. I'm sure some of you all seen that on the Instagram.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But just this thought, I just had this thought of like, we are seeing so many negative things, and there's so many negative things in our life now. So just take a second and look around, and just like, I was thinking about this because I actually saw somebody that was disabled in church, and I was like, saw them and they were in a wheelchair, and I was just like thinking about how somebody always around you has it worse than you. Mm-hmm. And somebody around you probably always has it better than you. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't define the goodness of God, and that doesn't define, the character of God. So your circumstance and what you're going through doesn't make God good, and it doesn't make God bad. So whenever everything's going right and all your relationships in your life are going good, and work's going good, and school's going good, that doesn't make God good. That doesn't define his character. Nor whenever you feel something is super overwhelming, or you're climbing up this mountain and you're in a big argument with your dad, and maybe somebody in your family just got cancer, that doesn't define how good God is either. Who he says he is and what he did for you defines who he is.
So then if life doesn't go good, then why am I going to follow God?
Right. Well, you've got to take a look at the fact that doesn't define who God is.
What is that?
Your circumstance. But
that's what I'm saying, is like someone who doesn't follow the Lord.
Right.
Hears you say that.
Right.
And someone with a believer mindset is, I'm not trying to like poke or prod. It's just it's like a curiosity thing.
I know,
of like,
you don't have to say that. I know you're just asking a question.
I know. I just don't want it to seem like, well, why is this and why is this? Anyways. So.
Well, I would hope that you were on my side on this.
I'm on the Lord's side. Jesus is number one.
All right, go ahead.
A non-believer, let's say, there's probably a non-believer listening to this right now. Mm-hmm. And if I'm thinking, as a non-believer would think, or trying to put myself in their position, and I hear, you're going to follow the Lord, and he doesn't promise us happiness. He doesn't promise us peace. He doesn't promise us. And I'm sitting here in a world today that tells me, find your truth, follow your happiness, find what makes you happy, put yourself first, because you're going to lead yourself to the ultimate happiness. Why would I sit there and say, well, it says in the Bible, like, these Christians are out here saying, like, you're going to follow the Lord, and you're not going to be happy. So why would I choose to follow the Lord if I can find happiness somewhere else?
Right, because the things that you put your all into, that you're saying you will find happiness in something else, will eventually fail you. Like if you put your happiness into that drug that you're going to smoke, you're only going to be wanting to go back for more and more and more, and it's eventually going to keep leaving you more and more and more empty.
And I think even too, like, not as drastic um of outlets as well. Like, I think it's very easy to say, like, alcohol's going to fail you, drugs are going to fail you, because those are just the ones that are numbing agents. They're the ones that make you feel quote unquote good. But I also think, like, I've even caught myself in turning to other places to make me feel good that aren't as I don't want to use the word serious, but just are a different level, I guess, of even just trying to, like, base my happiness in how I look.
Yeah.
Base my happiness in what I do. Base my happiness in how I perform or in the activities that I'm involved in. Or, I mean, in high school, it was, what clubs I can do. How can I make a name for myself? And what friends can I talk to? And what people can I talk to? And got caught up in trying to find happiness in that rather than the Lord. And not even intentionally. But then even in college, like, that's when I really realized, oh my gosh, I've been placing my identity, my happiness, my everything into what I'm doing rather than who I'm following. And it's crazy to sit here at a place where I don't feel like, I always self-criticize. It's just like who I am as a perfectionist. I'm not proud of it. And I think everyone can relate to that as well. But where I'm at in my faith is not as strong feeling-wise as I have been in other seasons of my life. And it's very easy for me to sit here and be like, well, even when I am following God, who is the ultimate, like, never going to fail you, never going to leave you, like, why do I still feel distant? It's like, I have to just remind myself, like, you have the opportunity to change that. If you feel distant, it's because you don't know him. And in order to know him, you have the Bible. So go to the Bible and go learn about him. Because if you're questioning who he is, who you are in him, and you feel far away from him, you're not in the Word enough. This isn't a you and God, like, this isn't a God is taking a step away kind of thing. This is a, you got to pick up the book, turn on your brain and talk to him. Like, I've been making, this is just a confession, I guess, but I've been making so many excuses for myself of trying to fill a void, which is what I kind of talked to Ryan about. Trying to fill this void of just, like, of, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, it's raining outside.
It's like sunny raining.
Yeah. Anyways, trying to fill this void. I realized when I was at the beach, like, I've been trying to fill this void of something. Which ultimately it was not being in the Word enough, but just trying to fill it with other things. And I've always felt driven to read the Word. I've always loved it. And now I don't feel like I want to read the Bible. I don't feel like I want to. And so I'm praying for, like, oh, Lord, like, help me feel like I want to, help me feel like I want to. And whether I heard it somewhere or just came to the conclusion on my own or in prayer or something, but I mean, it was definitely the Lord who placed it on my heart, but it was just like, so just because you don't want to, just because you feel like you don't want to, doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Right.
Same with the gym, same with studying, same with literally anything in life. The Lord has given us so many examples on this life that we can compare to a walk with him. And it's like the Bible is to a relationship with the Lord as textbook is to doing well in a class.
Yeah.
And I think it's way less complicated than we make it seem.
Yeah.
I'm an overthinker always. And it's like, what formula can I get to the Lord? How can I create a pathway to blah, blah. And it's like, just start. Like, just talk to him. Just pick up your Bible. Because that's where that firm foundation is going to come from. And I think it's crazy how the worries of, like, well, I feel distant and I feel this kind of just disappear.
Yeah.
The more you turn to him.
Yeah. That's so good. And like you mentioned, like, that I forget who I listened to this on, just about, like, this thought of, like, they were comparing it to their marriage, and this thing, like me and my wife go on a date every Tuesday, and if my wife got sick and we couldn't go on that date, that doesn't just mean I just would not talk to her that night and we just wouldn't have this conversation or we wouldn't spend time together. it would just be at a different place. We would just do that at home. And it's like, he was comparing it to like, when you don't feel like it, or your schedule got different, or your work schedule or your school schedule got different, like, are you still going to choose Jesus and seek first the kingdom of God before all things?
Yeah. Or even like, you go to work and it's like, I'm still texting you. Like, we're still having a conversation. We're not in like constant back and forth, like boom, 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 boom. But we're still knowing what each other are doing, filling each other in on our day, how we feel about things. And, well, not like if I eat a good meal or something, I'll be like, dude, I just ate a bussin' pizza. Like, I don't know, whatever it is. But it's, I wake up, pray in the morning, and then I'm just not going to talk to him for the rest of the day. Right.
That's so funny. Like, we'll pray in the morning in our bed and think we just left God in our room, and we go back to him that night whenever we go back to sleep.
That's so good.
I do that a lot. But back to your original question, like, to the non-believer listening to this and thinking, like, why would I follow Jesus? Or, like, why would I not just go after something else? Like, here's what I would say to that, is that people have claimed and said a lot of different things, and that doesn't necessarily make them true. Like, Jesus said that he was the way, the truth, and the life, and he said the only way to get to the Father is through me. And if he would have said all of those things and not backed it up, then we probably wouldn't be following Jesus anymore, right? Like, if Jesus didn't defeat death and conquer death, then we wouldn't probably be following that, what he said. But he backed up what he said with action. And so he went to die for you, but he didn't just stay dead. He came back to life and defeated death for you, so that, like, the God that we follow defeated death. So that means that we've conquered death as well. If we can put our faith in Jesus for the forgiveness for our sins, then we've conquered death as well, and we don't have to die. Like, we get to live forever.
Yeah. That's so good. I was thinking about, this kind of leads me to something else, because when you say that, it's like, I really struggle, and I've talked about this on the podcast, but I really struggle with, like, letting myself feel that and know that truth.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy at the gym today, and I really didn't want to talk. I'm at the gym.
I kept looking at you. I was on the treadmill. Was it when I was on the treadmill?
Yeah. And you knew that. You were talking to me today, and I just didn't really want to, like, be in conversation. I think it's different
with me, though, because we're always together. So it's like, if you don't want to talk, it's just like, okay.
Well, it's at the gym, though. Sometimes I just don't want to be talking a lot.
Yeah.
And we got to talking about, he's in the middle of an interview. And he just had, like, this unwavering confidence about him.
He's in the middle of an interview?
Yeah. And he just...
While y'all are having a conversation?
Yeah, he's in the middle of an interview process.
Oh, I literally... The way that you said it, I was like, he's in the middle of an interview and he's sitting there talking with you?
Oh. What?
Well, that's the way you said, he's in the middle of an interview.
Okay, he's in the middle of an interview process.
Thank you.
Like, he's not in the middle of an interview while he's doing bicep curls at the gym.
Well, that's why I was confused.
Yeah. Anyways, and he just had this unwavering confidence. Like, he wasn't sure if he was going to get the job. Like, he had no idea. He had interviewed one time, and he said he knew it was going to be a 5-step interview process. And he's like, I just know the Lord's sovereign over it, and if he wants me to have that job, I'll get that job. And people say that, but, like, I could tell he really meant it. And I was like, man. This dude... And I asked him a little bit more. I was like, man, this dude's, like, for real about that. So I asked him a little bit more. I was like, yeah, but like, have you been interviewing at other jobs? What does the process look like? And he was like, no, they did tell me, though, like, that they're not in any hurry to hire me, and it might take a long time. But he's like, I really just have trust in the Lord, that it's just gonna, whatever. I don't remember exactly what he said, but, like, you can just tell, like, when somebody is fully devoted to Jesus and, like, have truly just died to their self, and they're like, you know what, Lord, you can have everything. You can have the house. You can have my car. You can have my job. You can have everything. And I'm just going to give it to you, and and I'm going to follow you. Like, I could tell, like, you can just tell in people. And I was like, man, I want that confidence in Jesus.
I know what I was going to say.
Because I can talk that talk, but man, as soon as you start asking me about something, like, you know, if I'm going through an interview process or something, like I've been through a ton of job interviews, and I was like shook by that. I was like, man, I'm trying to follow Jesus like that guy. Because whenever you meet somebody that is like truly on fire for the Lord and is completely devoted to them, there's just something about them that's just peaceful and just joyful. That's like, I want to be like them.
I think I let in outside forces a lot, maybe too much. I'm currently working on a process of living life. Well, okay, I don't want to say this and then have it be like misinterpreted, but like living life for me. But like, I'm not living my life for like personal gain. Like, we all know.
It's not out of selfish ambition.
Yeah, exactly. But I make a lot of decisions off of what other people want and what I think other people want. And I never really ask myself, like, what does Abby want? Like, what does Abby want to do? And yeah, I think a lot of it comes from just trying to please a bunch of people, especially my parents, which my parents never put pressure on me in any way, in any toxic way. They only support me and want me to thrive. But, just in the what are you doing?
I was just watching the little green bar, trying to get it to perfect.
Oh my gosh. Ryan has been messing with the microphone. Just anyways. See, this is where my squirrel brain comes in.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. It's just how the Lord made me. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my parents. It's not from a way of like they are very harsh on me, but I think I just really want to please them a lot. And so I kind of just, you know, especially I'm going into my last year of college, and the questions are like, what are you going to do? How are you going to make a living for yourself? And it's like, okay, well, I need to do this, and this so that I can please my parents, so that I can, you know, do this and provide and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but what does Bible say? You know, because we're called to work, so I'll get a job. The Bible, I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible where it's like, you have to find out what your specific calling is, and if you choose the wrong job or the wrong occupation, then you've missed it and you're going to be miserable. Don't think that's anywhere in the Bible. Do you?
I do not.
And so I have to remind myself of that. Like, I have a lot of interests, a lot of things I think I'm pretty good at. There are a lot of different job opportunities. Is it wrong for me to go out and apply for a bunch of different ones that I'm interested? I don't think so. I mean, it works out for that guy that he just found one and he's relying on the Lord, and great for him. But I have a lot of interest, and so I'm like, you know what? I may dip my toe in a couple of places. Can only be more benefit of trying to get a job. And then I think for me specifically, that's where I'm like, okay, now it's in, like, well, it's always been in the Lord's hands, but like, there's nothing else I can really do in that sense. It's like, I either get the jobs that I applied for, or I don't. And if I get multiple of the jobs, specific prayer. I mean, specific prayer. I'm going to start now choosing a place I go to every day in my house and praying, like a specific place that's not like in my room. Like, I think I'm going to choose a closet or something and just like get really specific. I really, really want to prioritize my prayer life. And, you know, I think that's more important than the actual interview process, any interview process. Like, your faith and what you give to the Lord is more important than anything, I think, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't know what Thessalonica 3:4 verse whatever that it says in the Bible of that, but I definitely know that we should love the Lord our God above all else,
with all of our heart,
with all of our
in mind,
everything. I mean, our entire being. Like, I want to lift my pinky finger and be like, I'm lifting it for the Lord. Thoughts?
I think that's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have anything to add other than that you are so wise.
Me?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. That's really sweet.
I know we're in serious topic mode, but I did want to get back to the road trip.
Okay, wait, why? What happened on the road trip?
Well, there was a lot that happened on the road trip. I want to first say that one of the craziest things of all time happened on the road trip.
What?
We stopped at Chick-fil-A and with unwavering confidence didn't check the bags, thinking that they got everything right.
Yes,
and
we
they
went in.
forgot something.
Well,
And
You
it
di-
wasn't
you didn't
just a
tell them-
straw.
You didn't tell them. I almost asked you to check the bag, but then I was like, nah, they know.
It's Chick-fil-A. You shouldn't even.
I always check. I always check our crumble to make sure we got the right flavors. I always check the bag before I leave. I always
I'm
check.
not a checker.
You need to check. You need to start checking.
Yeah, I'm not a checker though. I just, especially if it's Chick-fil-A, I really have. Well, I'll probably be checking now, but it was one of the most just surprising things of all time.
But one thing about Ryan, like, he, like, won't do something, and usually someone, like, it'll happen to someone once, maybe twice, and then they're like, okay, I gotta change. Ryan eats about 5 or 6 times, and then he'll think about changing it. And you know I'm right about that. Y'all have heard the car gas story. He's finally starting to get gas. I guess now the next one is gonna be Chick-fil-A, checking the bag. I give it a couple months.
Chick-fil-A.
Until he starts checking the bag.
This is going to be, what would you rather have? Would you rather, let's play a little game of this or that.
Okay, let's play a little game.
Would you rather have Chick-fil-A or Blaze?
Blaze. Pizza.
Chick-fil-A or Qdoba?
Oh. See, it's hard to compare these because it's not like you're comparing like
At the same time,
like
yeah.
A-Zip
Same
and
food.
Blaze.
Yeah.
I would say Chick-fil-A. I have to be in
Okay.
the right mood for Mexican. I'm not a big Mexican girl.
Qdoba or Chipotle?
Qdoba.
All day.
100%.
I'll say Chipotle.
Go ahead.
We
say
love
it.
you, and if you were wanting to be a sponsor,
Spons.
I might say something differently. Your quality's declining. The quality of
I don't know if
Chipotle's declining.
I don't know if the quality of Chipotle is declining or if more stuff is coming out about Chipotle and it's changing our view.
No,
Because I was on a Chipotle kick for a while, and then I started hearing about all these like seed oils and all this stuff that's probably in everything.
No,
but it's like specifically targeted towards
seed
Chipotle.
oils.
I don't know. They like apparently cook stuff in seed oils or something.
Well, I don't care about that. I just mean like the quality of chicken, the bowls. It's just not the same.
Well, and they make you pay extra for like everything, and they don't at Qdoba.
People that were eating COVID Chipotle know that was the highest quality Chipotle you could get. Pre-COVID Chipotle into COVID Chipotle was the greatest Chipotle. But now Qdoba has taken over.
I ate Chipotle a lot when I was in Texas last year.
Really?
Like, I ate it all the time because it was right next to the theater. We had a Blaze close to there. We had a Panda. Oh, my gosh. I would eat so much Panda, so much Blaze. And there was a Sprouts right next to where I lived, so I would do all my shopping at Sprouts. Oh, I got Sprouts sushi every Wednesday. It was great.
I have a controversial take.
Wait. I didn't ask you.
What?
Chick-fil-A or Blaze?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A or Qdoba?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, and we already know what you feel about Qdoba and Chipotle.
Yeah. I have a controversy take about Okay, yeah. It's a controversial take about Chick-fil-A.
Okay, that's crazy. I need you to say that in a full sentence because this is real material. And right now, all I have is, yeah, it's a boba. I need you to say, with all the enthusiasm, I have a controversial topic about, or whatever.
Just like
So it's like clickbait.
Okay. I have a controversial take about Chick-fil-A.
That was perfect. Okay, now I can resume.
Okay.
See, this is the behind the scenes that
Are
they
you
get
ready
with the
for this?
podcast. That if you only follow the Instagram and don't listen to the podcast, you wouldn't know.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
The Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich is better than the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich. And it's not close.
Okay. I wouldn't know it. I don't like spicy. And I don't like fried chicken. So.
My buddy, I don't know if Mason listens, but I used to do cheat days whenever my senior year at Western, well, my 5th year at Western, and my every cheat day was...
These cheat days are like...
They were nuts.
They sound insane.
They
from
were
what
insane.
I've heard. The stories I hear.
But it would be on Sundays. It would usually be every 2 weeks, and I would... The lunch cheat day was 2 Popeye spicy Sammys, Cajun fries, and like 4 biscuits.
I would destroy my pants.
Oh, my poops were so bad the next day.
Jeez. I don't think you've ever said poop on the podcast. This is big for you.
Yeah, well, they were really bad.
Okay, what is your craziest cheat day meal day that you can remember having?
Yeah.
And with who and what'd you eat?
Well, They were usually by myself.
Oh.
Well, like I would go out to eat usually for dinner with people, but like nobody really wanted to like follow
You're like,
along.
it's cheat day.
Yeah. I would usually go donuts and Spencer's for the morning, so I would get like 3 or 4 donuts.
Oh, so this was here.
Yeah, this would be at
Spencer's
Western.
is local coffee.
Yeah, and I would get like 3 or 4 donuts, and I would usually eat those throughout the day.
From Gads?
From Gads, yeah.
Another local.
Yeah, and I would usually I'm like 2 glazed, 2 jelly filled, and then I would go the breakfast burrito from Spencer's.
Wow. So you do a pre-breakfast.
It was a pre-breakfast, usually on Sunday, so I would get the donuts before breakfast, and then go to Spencer's for actual breakfast.
And then church?
No, it'd be pre-breakfast donuts, and then church,
Post-church.
and then post-church I would go breakfast burrito.
Okay,
Spencer's.
and then what? And would you still get lunch and dinner too?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then dessert.
Okay, so
And lunch would be it was always Popeyes. That was a staple for my
that's
cheat
kind
days.
of a drive from Western.
Well, I lived over there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I lived right behind Popeyes in those apartments.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. I just forgot.
Yeah, so I would get 2 Popeye spicy Sammys, get some Cajun fries and 4 biscuits, and then I would eat that, and usually would stop at that gas station and get some form of candy just so I had it.
What candy? Like Nerds gummy clusters or something?
And like Airheads or Laffy Taffies usually, because I was like always craving like really just sugary. Yeah.
I'm a chocolate girl. He's a candy boy.
Yeah. And then for dinner, it was usually pizza. So I would usually get a mellow mushroom pizza. That was usually my go-to.
With like what kind? Meat lovers?
I don't know. Like
I
wouldn't customize it. So I would just get like something like
Whatever you
it would be
wanted.
like bacon and
They have a good barbecue one actually.
barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had like a cheat day.
Well, the crazy part is I wouldn't be done. I would go to like McDonald's and like get like a McDonald's snack like at like 11 that night and get like a ice cream with it, or I would go to like Cookout and get like food from Cookout and with ice cream with it. I'm telling you, it was absurd.
Would you feel sick after
Oh, I
that?
was sick. Yeah, I would feel sick the next day. But it was always so worth it to me. I love those days. But at that point, it was just I was in really good shape, but I finally found a balance because I would just not go out to eat with my friends, and I would just eat super clean and was doing all the things to where like I can now balance it out to where I just, if I want something bad, then I'll just go eat it, and it's like whatever.
Well, I feel like
Just
also
the way better way to live.
I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm never gonna fully be on one side of like one way of eating. There's just so much out there. But for me personally, what I think for myself, okay, is that it would train me having like a super strict, like eat clean 6 days of the week and then go ham on one day. It would train me to have like a binge mentality, like a restrict binge mentality.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah. And so I think if it works for you, great. Mm-hmm. Would I advise it to someone who's like, hey, I'm trying to figure out a new like sustainable way of eating? Would I personally prescribe that method? Not at all.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It worked for me for a really good period of time because I was trying to cut. So like I was just.
But even so, like that's so many calories in a day if you're trying to cut.
Well, I know, but I knew I wasn't going to be doing it for a really long time. So I was like able to just like restrict and it's not like I was like starving myself. Like,
right.
I was just burning a ton of calories during the day and just, I was probably around anywhere from like 2,000 to 2,200, like on like clean eating days, but I was like very low in carbs. Not like super low.
For how tall you are and
high in protein.
Like you probably needed more on those days, honestly, for how just like your build.
But yeah, but I was cutting and I was trying to like get super clean, so I was just being super strict.
On like the talk of nutrition though, oh, you just showed your feet for free.
I don't know why I just did that. Well, I was popping my knee and then I realized my foot was and cut.
We're leaving that in. Ryan does the most out of character things every once in a while. It always keeps me on my toes. No pun intended, because he just showed his toes. Like, people say like, oh, Abby's crazy and Ryan's calm and it's a great balance. No, Ryan is psychotic, but you just never know when it's gonna happen. Like at the beach, Ryan was just doing unhinged things. Like I learned more and more about this man all the time. Just keeps me on my toes. Such a fun little thrilling life.
You know what you need to tell the story about?
What?
You were talking about nutrition, but on the way home, whenever I was listening to my video.
You tell it.
No, you tell it way better.
No,
you tell it way better.
It's too sensitive for me to talk about.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine. I just wanted you to beg me to say it. I was sleeping like a sweet little girl, and my mom was on the phone. Now, before I fell asleep, my mom was on the phone, and the phone was really loud. I almost asked her to turn it down. But then something, like, she turned it down herself or whatever. And I waited, like, a while. So I fell asleep. I woke up, and I asked if we could make, like, a bathroom stop. And Mom was like, sure. So keep in mind, when you're asleep, like, everything gets louder, you know, when you wake up. Like, you fall asleep with the TV on, you wake up, it's, like, blasting. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm, like, mid-sleep. I'm like, can we go to the bathroom? She's like, sure. And I'm like, okay. So I'm not, like, fully asleep, but I'm not, like, awake. And my eyes are still closed, and I just hear, like, so loud coming from Ryan's
It's not
phone.
that loud.
Did you have it turned up all the way?
I did.
He always is like, it's never as bad as you make it move.
I literally had it
up all the way.
I had it to my ear because I was just trying to hear this walkout bullpen video.
And you had it turned up all the way? Mom was on the phone.
It was just loud in there.
Okay, well, anyways, so then I'm like, oh my gosh, that is shrieking. And I almost, also,
it was like 30
a couple days before, Ryan was editing a video, and all I hear is, coffee, 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 coffee. I didn't say anything.
You want to go ahead and get coffee?
I said nothing to him. Because I was like, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. And he always tells me, like, you're not going to be mean if you tell me these things. And so I literally said that in my head before I asked you. I was like, it's not going to be mean. And I was also like, and Mom's on the phone. She's not going to say anything. And so I was like, hey, can you turn that down? And no, listen. You want me to tell the story? Let me say my piece.
Say what you actually said.
You're not letting me finish.
Go
Chill.
ahead.
Okay, so, sorry, I don't like when people say chill. It gets on my nerves. So I said, hey, can you turn that down? What I was going to say before I was interrupted was, do I think it actually came out like that? No. I know when I'm sleeping, I am incredibly sassy, incredibly irritable when I wake up. The way that I meant to say it and the way that I internally felt I said it and meant to say it was like that. How it probably came out was more like, can you turn that down? That's probably how it came out. Would you say?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was more like, turn that down.
Gotta fight for be heard out here. So then Ryan is on his phone. And he goes, what? And I said, can you turn that down? Again, probably not saying it like that. Can you turn that down? Whatever. However I said it. I don't think I was really sassy about it, though. Like, I didn't raise an eyebrow or anything at you. Like, it was not intentionally pointed at you. Like, excuse me, you know better. It wasn't like that. So he goes, what? And I said, can you turn that down? And he goes, I was just watching a video. I was like, whoa. And I said, what? And he goes, I was just watching the video. And then he looks.
I did do that.
Yes, and he looks at his phone and and I was out. I was done. I was deceased. 2 to 3 business days, you may not reach out to me. I was gone. And I was literally like, oh my gosh. And so then I was like, that was mean. And Ryan was like, Ryan does this thing. I know you do this. We've never talked about this, actually.
Oh, gosh.
And you do this thing where you, like, a moment will happen and you'll either be sassy or I'll be sassy. Something will happen.
Why you gotta be sassy?
And you'll have attitude or say something snappy. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll be quick. Or I will, or something will happen. And then I'll address it and be like, why is the attitude? And you'll just laugh it off. Because you know something went wrong.
If I laugh, it means I know I messed up. And
Exactly. And so he did it. And so I was like, that was mean. And he's like, why are you acting like that? And I'm sitting, you always do that. You're like, why are you like acting like that? Because you know I do know I overreact. And you use it against me, you little butthole. So anyways, so he's like, why are you doing that? And I know dang well this dude is like, oh, he knows he was being mean. So
I wasn't ready to admit it.
So I just sit back. I'm so glad I brought that up because we've never addressed that. Would you agree though?
That. Yeah, it's always you say something and I just laugh and say, "What? What do you mean?"
It's his escape mechanism.
It is.
So anyway, like 10 minutes pass and I'm just quiet because I'm like, he'll talk. He can talk to me when he wants to talk to me. So then we get out of the car. I go to the bathroom. Ryan's sitting. We were like stopped at a Subway or something. Ryan's sitting in the car. I go back in the car. Mom's still using the bathroom. And I come back and I'm like, okay, let's talk about it, whatever. And he's like, looking at his phone, watching a fun little video. And he's like, I don't even think you apologized for a little bit.
Timberwolves and Nuggets were playing.
And I was just like, that like actually hurt my feelings. And you were like, sweetie, it's not a big deal. And I was like, I know it's not a big deal, but I'm trying to tell you how I feel. Like, I don't want to just brush it off, even though it was a silly thing. Like, you snapped at me. I didn't like that. And you were like, I'm sorry. Like, that is one thing. You're so good about apologizing.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And you're so good about it. Like, that is one thing that if I bring up something to you, you are first to be like, let me check myself. Which is so great, especially knowing just like everything we've been through together too. It's like, it just warms my heart. But anyways. But this whole conversation, he's looking at his phone screen. Turn sideways on golf. So we have like a 5-minute conversation probably of just like...
He always gets the sport wrong.
He's like, what is it?
It was basketball.
Okay, whatever. And so I need to wrap this up. So Mom's in the bathroom. We apologize, whatever. And I'm like... My thing of when we have little like scruffles or whatever the word would be, like I don't even call it a fight. It's not even a fight. It's just like
sounds like a dog
misunderstanding. Is I don't know when to be like, okay, time to move on, and I'll just want to like drag it out. And
she
so
wants to keep talking about it.
I just want to keep talking about it, and Ryan's over here like, dude, this is not this big of a deal, and I'm like, okay. So finally, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna drop it. I don't want to lay my head on your lap right now because I'm still mad, but I'm going to lay my head on your lap right now because I know it's going to help. And he's like, okay. So then I lay my head on his lap. I look up at him and I'm like, I just want you to know, I would appreciate it if next time we talk, you aren't staring at a phone screen the whole time. And the silence in the car was deafening. It was a
mic drop moment.
Because Ryan knew. And he goes... and like looks down at me on his lap and he just smiles because he knows. And I was like, I ate with that line. That was so good. But anyways, then we were good. And then Mom came in.
I gave you a hug.
Yeah, he gave me a hug. Probably like 6 seconds. We're working on doing 10-second hugs.
No, 20 seconds.
No, it's 10.
It's a 20-second hug and I think a 6 or 8 second kiss.
No, I think it's a 10-second hug.
No, it's 20.
We're going to ask Mom. I'm going to bet money right now.
No, okay.
$5.
I'll bet more. Whatever you want to bet, I'm betting.
$5.
Okay.
I can't really afford to do any more than that right now because I'm spending all my money on crumble cookies. Anyways, that's the story. Speaking of crumble cookies, we did the crumble review today.
Yeah, it was great.
It's time for the crumble segment. It's time for our wrap it up segment.
Yeah.
So crumble.
They came out with a cheesecake.
I don't like cheesecake, so I didn't like it.
It was life-changing.
I will say, though, and I watched another review today, and it actually made a lot of sense. She was talking about the cookie base, like the graham cracker base, and she was like, I just wish it would have been more crust and less just like graham crackers because it was very flimsy, like it was just very crumbly.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted it to be like harder.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, it was like, it was very like if you touch it, it's gonna just.
But I was very skeptical this week, and it was actually a pretty good week. I loved the chocolate cake one.
Yeah, and the strawberry velvet cake was awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to ask a question. What is one thing you learned about yourself this week being on vacation? I feel like I always learn something on vacation. What?
It's just such a funny question.
Why?
What did you learn about yourself?
I feel like I always go on vacation and like have time to actually think about myself and like be like, wow, wait. Like, what I learned, you can have your time to think. What I learned about myself is that I've been trying to fill a void unknowingly with other things of this world. And it is time for me to stop making excuses for myself and temporary fixes of just putting a Band-Aid over whatever void it was. Well, I know what void it is. It's the removal of my time and energy into my faith and into the practices of my faith. Because I, like, hid behind the fact of, like, oh, I'm trying not to be works-based. I'm trying not to work my way to heaven. So I'm just going to, like, not. And it's like, okay, well, now you're on the opposite extreme. Now you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So then I tried to fill it with other stuff. And it's like, girl, time to get your hands dirty. Get in the Word. Turn the pages. Intentionally pray. Stop making excuses for yourself. And that's what I realized.
Wow.
At a joke or at a question that you laughed at.
And that's awesome. I don't have something as groundbreaking as that. I think that's amazing though that you realized that. That's awesome that you had that revelation.
Thank you.
I learned that I really, really like the beach and would maybe one day potentially
Go ahead.
hopefully one day live there, maybe if I'm lucky enough.
You know what my mom said? I posted I want to go back on our story of the beach, and Mom slid up and said our future home.
Oh,
I was like,
we haven't you know what we should have done on the beginning of the thing? This is for the listeners. We have a big giveaway coming up, like a huge announcement. And we could have added that in the beginning, but if you are still listening, you deserve...
Don't do any specifics.
I won't.
Okay.
If you're still listening anyways, you deserve to hear this. There's going to be a massive giveaway coming up on the Instagram. Like it's actually really, really cool, and you're going to want to stay tuned for it.
So go ahead and follow at That's Life Potty, because in order to enter it, you have to be following. So just go ahead and follow it. That's Life Poddy Potty.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
It's really exciting. We're pumped. I don't know, I feel like we kind of took a pretty big swing.
Well, it was you. It was your idea. I had nothing to do with it except for just like the connections.
Yeah.
And that was just out of luck.
This is the Lord.
Well, yeah, you know what? Yes. I don't know why.
I said lucky earlier too. It's all Jesus.
It's not luck, it's Jesus.
We took a big swing and
that was good.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that.
It's all the Lord. It is all the Lord. That was so good. That's just another reason why I need to be in my Bible more. Do you believe in luck?
No. I believe in God. Like, I believe that God's sovereign over everything.
I don't believe in luck either, and I've never thought about that until just now.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because like we like say like, oh, that's karma. Like people like anybody would think, oh, that's karma, or that's just luck. It's like, well, like we don't really actually believe that because we believe in a sovereign God that is control of everything.
That's so good. Okay, now time for
highs and lows.
No, not yet.
Oh,
it's time for the basketball roundup of the week with Ryan Luckett.
This is a sad Laker fan coming to you. The Lakers did fire Darvin Ham after they got gentlemen swept by the Nuggets in Game 5. Jamal Murray broke our hearts once again, Lakers fans. But it's been a fun playoffs. We're like watching Anthony Edwards like come into his own at 22 years old. I still think the Nuggets are going to win round 2, and I still have a feeling they're going to go back-to-back. I still feel that pretty strongly. But we're watching Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, we're watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we're watching, some other guys, Jalen Brunson. We're like kind of watching this like passing of the torch. Like Steph was out in the play-in, Kevin Durant was out in the first round, swept. LeBron was out in the first round, gentlemen swept. And we're kind of watching this like passing of the torch. And Anthony Edwards has kind of like grabbed this like American basketball player, best player in the world title, which was kind of in the Devin Booker, Jason Tatum camp. And he kind of took it, it seems like, since the playoffs have started. He's averaging like 33 points a game since the playoffs have started. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's like a mixture of Dwayne Wade and Kobe. in the sense that he's just got this like extra athleticism and just extra just bolt to his game that a lot of people don't have, and he's got the like charisma of like just the coolest guy in the world. So he's been a lot of fun to watch, and that's been really, really cool. I'm still gonna say Nuggets in 7, and my pick is still the Nuggets to win the finals, most likely over Boston, who I think will play the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we'll figure that out when we get there. That's your little update on that. I've been loving the playoffs. It's been so much fun. There was no game last night, and I was like empty.
Same.
But that's your update. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yep, and another, on my side of things, I had no idea what he was talking about the entire time. I know the Nuggets is a team.
Yeah, you know the Lakers.
And I know the Lakers is a team. I know the people that you were saying are players.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what the on 7 means. I don't know what the, like, I know nothing. You know what would be funny?
What?
I actually started thinking about this while you were talking, because I was like, I'm not even going to try. Like, I just don't understand what he's talking about. You should play, like, clips, like, just, like, short clips of, like, a super popular, like, basketball play or something. And, like, I'll try to, like, ref it or, like, describe what's going on.
You know what would be funny? I don't know how we could do this. Something similar to that, but we could get players, or we could get like basketball plays, and Abby has to guess like what the actual basketball play is, like whether it's a dunk or a 3-point shot or a free throw or like a travel.
You know, I think I only have ever associated plays with football. I don't even think I knew that like basketball like had plays.
Oh,
I think I just thought like the coach was like, go, go, go.
Yeah. I think people...
Are other sports have plays? Do other sports have plays?
Yeah, all sports have plays.
What?
What do you mean plays? Like
X's and O's?
Yeah.
And like bluebird,
baseball,
rhino.
Baseball, not as much. I mean, they have plays, but they're not like X's and O's.
Golf doesn't have plays.
Yeah, you don't really have like plays you do, but you do
like
have
soccer.
Specific... Yeah, they have X's and O's. They
like
run
volleyball
plays.
wouldn't have plays.
Oh, yeah, they do.
What?
Yeah, they set to a certain hitter, certain things like that. I know they like run up like the middle will go around, or they'll set to the outside.
My world is rocked. My mind is blown.
Well, we're gonna figure out a TikTok video to like make and watch Abby try and guess some athletes, or I can guess
Seriously,
some actors or something.
My
and
dad
that would be just as funny.
My dad would be so disappointed. From someone who's grown up with their dad has literally worked for Fruit of the Loom, Russell, and is now Spalding basketball. Like, yeah, this is sad.
That is funny.
I do love like watching and playing sports though. Like,
I wouldn't say you love watching basketball.
No, I watching. Okay, no, not watching. I do love watching track. I love watching volleyball, but I wouldn't like choose to watch it on the TV. But like, if you were like, let's go to a game, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I do love playing sports though. I just may not be good at them or know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But getting a little sick.
Yeah.
Hi, Lo. Would you like to start or me?
I can start. I can start. My high was definitely just being at the beach. I'll say probably the favorite part of the beach. There was a lot of different things. The carnival was fun, or the balloon festival was fun.
So pretty. It was just magical. It was dreamy.
But probably was it Monday morning or Tuesday? It was Tuesday morning. We went to the coffee shop. Mm-hmm. Went to a coffee shop right by the bay, and that was a lot of fun. We walked around and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. I didn't have to work.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
We went to Southern Grind.
Southern Grind.
Very cool coffee shop in Orange Beach.
Cats. That's why I was...
Yeah, that was cool too. If we probably sat there like on the front porch and like I wasn't working that day, that'd probably be my favorite. But yeah, Tuesday. I'm a coffee, like I love the Lakers and I love coffee. Like those are like my two, and I play golf too. So those are like my major hobbies, but I want to own a coffee shop one day. So like I love going to different coffee businesses and just seeing like their little community.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
My low was leaving the beach 100%.
Yeah, that was my low too.
But it was so good to see. We saw all of our friends on Sunday because we went to a wedding party.
That was so nice, and we played pickleball. It was just good.
Yeah, it was so much fun to hang out with the gang. Yeah, it was.
I really miss them a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It's crazy about like Bowling Green time, like small town feel. I wouldn't say we really have a small town, but small town feel.
Yeah.
Your community gets really close, and then like you're gone for a couple days, and they're like, "Where have you been?" So like a week away, it was like stranger danger. Like, it was great. It felt like we hadn't seen them in years.
I felt like I hadn't seen everybody in so long,
Yeah.
and it had been like 6 days.
Yeah, but yeah, that was my lowest of lows. I was like really sad, like really sad.
Abby said she was really sad, and I just want to go back. I would put the over-under at like 11.5 in the car times.
Oh, definitely more.
Yeah.
Definitely more.
It was like every hour.
Yeah, I don't know. If you know me, you know I like thrive in the warm weather and just being outside. I'm outside as much as I possibly can be. I would have this podcast set up be outside if it would work. But yeah, I just love the beach. But anyways, that was my low, and also the sinus stuff that's going on. It's just not fun to deal with. My high, oh my gosh. Well, I mean, being at the beach, all of the beach. I can't choose a specific thing, but
You have to. That's cheating.
honestly, this is more like a personal achievement, which makes me feel kind of selfish, but I am proud of myself there were a lot of things, a lot of conversations that I had with my mom at the beach, like when we would go on walks, where it was just stuff that I hadn't really even like brought to attention myself. And I don't know, it just felt good to like verbalize the scary things that you may not want to like unpack. It was a win to be able to verbalize some of those things and talk through them with someone in your corner. And yeah, so that was a win of like just doing the scary things and conquering them and knowing like I'm not held by my own strength. And I think I just need to remind myself of that like, don't let fear overtake you, because the Lord is stronger than anything. And if I have that living inside of me, then I have that power. So that was my high. Dang.
I need to be getting deep over here.
I'm getting like real deep with high lows this week. Anyways, that's all I got. What about you?
What was your low? Being sad because we left?
Yeah, sad and sinuses.
That's right. Yeah.
I always end with my high.
You know what?
Because I like to end on a high.
We've never said this before, but...
What?
Oh, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. I was just going to say that highs and lows, like, people that are listening, it's a great topic around the dinner table.
Love high lows.
Abby is like, she's a woman of many talents, but one of her talents is that she will not let you eat or be at a dinner table silent at all times. So she's going to be asking the questions.
True.
And asking what you're high and low for the day is a must every single night now. But
I love it.
It's good to just ask. If you're eating with somebody, ask them what their high and low for the day was. They want to talk about it.
I'm just so curious. Like, that's the thing. I just come up with all these questions because I'm just such a curious person. I just have to know. Like, I just want to know. I don't know. Anyways, I'm about to cough again, so we need to shut this off.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to have a coughing fit, and I need to use the bathroom.
That was a ton of fun.
Yeah. Hey, we love you guys. Be on the lookout for that giveaway, because it's coming.
It's super exciting.
Tell your friends, tell your family.
It's something big.
It's something big, and it's going to be for a short window of time, so you want to be prepared.
Yeah, you do.
Turn on the alerts. Anyways, with that being said, we love you. Jesus loves you, and that's life. That was the most solid we've ever done that. That was so good.